Well, it is 10 o'clock Central Time on Tuesday, the 28th of February. This is John Terry, the Chief Marketing Officer of Vision Advisors. I want to say thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join me for an interesting conversation I want to have this morning. I came across this unexpectedly, and it was kind of a shock to learn about Social Security now making a lump sum offer to individuals over the age of 65 that are taking delayed income credits. And I began to do a little digging into this, and we've not learned everything there is to know, still digging, but I want to share with you what we've learned up to this point. And I can say this, and you see it right there on the screen in front of you. Anyone that is a Social Security claimant that is looking to claim Social Security at the maximum age of 70 should definitely count the cost before they say yes to this offer. And this offer sounds very appealing on the front end. So let's jump right into what we're talking about with this Social Security lump sum offer. And as I've had an opportunity to talk to many financial advisors as I was preparing for this event, a significant number of them did not know this as well. So for a number of you, this is new information for you as well. Let's jump right in and get started. Now, I want to introduce you initially to a fictitious couple. Let me introduce you to Bob and Mary. And I want to use Bob and Mary to set up an example of what your clients are going to be experiencing if they're looking to seek out and grow their Social Security to the maximum benefit possible by delaying to age 70 and receiving those 8% delayed income credits. So what about Bob and what about Mary? What do we need to know? Bob is 69 years of age. He's married to his lovely wife, Mary. Mary is 66. She is 3 years younger than Bob. Now, as we look at their income, Bob is an engineer, Mary is a teacher. And as a result of that, Bob is the higher income earner in the family. Now, as we look a little bit deeper and we begin to identify what is their goal when it comes to retirement income planning, Bob and Mary together had a very specific goal. They were willfully choosing to defer to age 70 when it came to claiming Social Security benefits because they wanted to maximize the payout benefit available to them. They had done the research and they understood that 80% of elderly widow women live solely on Social Security. They've done their planning, they've got savings in place, but Bob wanted to make sure because he has had some health issues and Mary's likely going to outlive him by an average of 5 to 7 years, maybe longer, that he provided enough money for them, but as much money as possible for her. They both understand how the 8% delayed credits work, and they understand that Social Security is an income adjusted payment every year, and they understand how those COLA adjustments can increase the amount of their Social Security benefit year after year after year. Now, again, their goal, maximize Social Security benefits for not only Bob, but to make sure Mary's got the maximum benefits because in her family, there's a history of longevity. Now, as Bob is getting closer to age 70, it comes the point in time that he needs to make the call. Just a few months before Bob is getting ready to turn 70, he calls Social Security to start the claiming process. Now, again, what's his goal? His goal is to claim at age 70, to take full advantage of the 8% delayed credits that would be accruing on that delayed benefit and know that he was going to be able to maximize in the future his COLA adjustments and would have the maximum amount of money from Social Security being credited with those annual increases based upon cost of living adjustments that are applied. Now, as Bob's on the phone having a conversation with Social Security, he's advised of a bonus cash offer that he'd never heard of. Bob is told by Social Security he didn't have to wait to the age of 70 to actually claim his benefits. Bob was told that he could claim now. And if he chose to claim now, he would receive a 6-month retroactive lump sum benefit. Now, at that point, Bob leans in because he's hearing money, 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 a 6-month retroactive lump sum payment, and his monthly benefit payments would still commence at the age of 70. So as Bob's thinking into this and looking to maximize his benefits, he's thinking, man, what a deal. I can get 6 months' money up front, and I don't have to wait all the way to age 70 to claim and get delayed credits. What an amazing deal. Now, they turn around, and in this particular situation, they offered Bob $25,000 in a lump sum payment. Now, think about your clients. They're getting ready to claim Social Security, and their goal, as many of you are working with your clients and talking to them about longevity, the fact that they're living longer than maybe they previously planned, and making sure they've got enough not just guaranteed income, but increasing guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. And all of a sudden, they're thrown a curveball, and Social Security informs them that they're now eligible for a $25,000 lump sum payment. Who might not lean into that and say, that sounds pretty exciting? Give me the $25,000 up front. This is something you need to begin to educate your clients on and make them aware that this offer is now being made by Social Security. Specifically, we're seeing that with married couples where you've got an individual that's delaying credits. They're within that 69 to 70 window where they're trying to delay credits to get as much money as possible from Social Security. Now, what's the trade-off? You've got to read the fine print, and we really need to dig into the details to see why this lump sum offer may or may not be in the best interest of your client. As you're providing them guidance and advice and helping them make informed decisions, which, by the way, Social Security can't give advice. They can only tell you what your options are, but they can't tell you which options to take. Your clients are going to look to you to help them make a good decision. So what's the trade-off in this particular example for Bob and for Mary? When we think about and examine what's going on, Bob is informed that his monthly benefit check, if he takes this lump sum offer of $25,000, is going to be permanently reduced. Rather than getting a 32% increase in what he would have received over his full retirement benefit by getting those delayed income credits, Bob is only going to receive a 28% increase of his full retirement benefit. Now, you do the math and you say 32 minus 28 is 4. He's giving up 4% to get $25,000. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Not a big deal, right? Well, understand this. In this program, the delayed retirement credit reductions can range anywhere from 4% to 6.67% for the life of an individual or for the lives of a married couple. That 4 to 6% over time can be a significant amount of money. Now, as we dig deeper into the numbers and we decide to analyze the fine print to see what's really there, let's grab a calculator and let's do the math. So if we look at what Bob was going to receive in terms of his full retirement benefit at age 65, Bob is going to receive a $3,000 monthly benefit when he reaches age 66, which for him, full retirement age. If Bob were to wait to age 70 to take full advantage of the delayed retirement credits that he would be eligible for by waiting till the age of 70, that $3,000 a month payment becomes $4,620. Now, that's $1,620 more than he would have received at age 66. And that monthly benefit check would continue for not only Bob's life, but remember, at death, one check goes away and the greater of the two checks remains. Because Bob was the higher income earner, paid more into the system, this is going to be the check that Mary is going to be living on for the rest of her life if Bob predeceases her, which likely he will. Now, if they're going to claim 6 months early and they're going to take advantage of this bonus cash offer from Social Security, call it what it is, if they're claiming 6 months earlier, they're going to receive a $355 a month reduction, $4,285 a month versus $4,620 a month. Now, from the outset, if you're looking at that as a consumer and Bob and Mary are weighing their options as they're having a conversation, that's not that significant, at least on the front end. I'm going to give up $355 a month, but I'm going to get $25,000 in a lump sum check. That still sounds like a pretty good deal. So then the question comes down to, what's the best decision? Do you take the lump sum? Do you not take the lump sum? It's kind of like playing the Price is Right. Do you go to door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3 to pick your prize? The short answer, as your clients are trying to make this decision, and hopefully with your guidance as their financial professional, the short answer is it depends. Now, there's a number of factors that need to be weighed into this decision as you're giving consideration into whether or not this lump sum benefit actually makes good financial sense to your clients. So let's dig into the details and see what's there so that as you're having conversations with your clients and you're giving them guidance and advice on this important decision, you're going to give them the best guidance and advice possible. Now, if they choose to take the $25,000 lump sum payment, what happens? Understand that that lump sum payment is income in the year that it's received. So Bob and Mary's income, if they take this offer from Social Security and accept this $25,000 lump sum payment, they just saw an increase in their income of $25,000. Now, if Bob is still working and he's planning to work to the age of 70 and he's still drawing a fairly substantial income and his wife is still teaching as a teacher, they're already making a pretty good income. But all of a sudden, an additional $25,000 comes into their income for the year. Guess what? Higher income may likely move them into a higher tax bracket where they are paying more taxes on their total income, including part of that Social Security check that they've received. The other issue that may come from that may not be examined and overlooked is this. Not only are they looking at a potential increase in income taxes paid, that additional income could push the threshold to the point that it triggers the IRMAA surcharge on Medicare Part B. For those of you that don't know what the IRMAA surcharge is, we have a complete training on this particular topic where individuals, as they make more money, have to pay more for Medicare Part B. And this likely triggers that with Bob and Mary based upon their income prior to receiving this $25,000 lump sum benefit. Now, again, as we look into the details, you've got to look closely to make sure that you're helping your clients make a informed decision. So not only is that $25,000 income in the year received and potentially triggering that IRMAA surcharge, you're now looking at a lower Social Security monthly payment forever. Yeah, it's only $355 a month, but that's $355 a month for the rest of Bob and Mary's life. Now, because they're taking less than the maximum from Social Security, as they later experience cost of living adjustments on their Social Security benefit check, they're going to get a smaller increase year after year because the COLA adjustment is being applied to a lower benefit payment that they would be receiving from Social Security. So not only did they rob themselves of some money that they would be receiving month after month after month for the remainder of their lives, they're now going to be getting less money in those income adjusted COLA calculations that increase their benefits year after year after year. And with the cost of living going up for seniors today, especially in this era of rampant inflation we're dealing with right now, this could be significant over time. So let's do the math and see what's going on here. Remember, they're losing $335 a month. Multiply that times 12, they're losing $4,020 each year that they're giving up in exchange for that $25,000 lump sum. So my immediate thought went to, where is the break even? As an economist, I want to understand what is the break even. So I take the $25,000 lump sum they're going to be receiving, I divide that by $25,000, their break even is 6.2 years. Now, what are the odds that Bob and Mary are going to live more than 6.2 years once they fully retire? Bob being 70, Mary being Now, 3 years younger, 67. As we look at that, consider this. If Bob lives to the age of 85, Bob has given up $36,180 in Social Security benefits. Again, that $335 a month, all the way calculated to age 85, and that does not take into account any COLA adjustments and any increases in that annual check because of an increase in the cost of living here in the United States. And because Mary's family is long-lived, many of her relatives living into the late 90s and early hundreds, if Mary lives to the average life expectancy for her brothers and sisters and family members and lives to the age of 94, she and Bob collectively will have given up $72,360 in Social Security monthly payments, not adjusted for COLA, by accepting the $25,000 lump sum payment. And if you calculate in the COLA and Mary lives to the age of 94, that's likely in excess of $100,000 based upon future COLA adjustments to that Social Security. Now, you may come in and say, well, John, they get the $25,000. What if they invest the money and they invest the $25,000? Well, let's see what that looks like. So $25,000, again, let's use the rule of 72. $25,000 invested in a CD at 3%, it's going to take them 24 years to double the money. Remember, if Mary lives to age 94, we're going to be giving up a significant amount, over $78,000. If we are able to put the money in a MIGA, earning 5%, it's still going to take them 14.4 years to double the money. That pushes Bob to age 84.4. Bob's at life expectancy at that point. If we're able to go into a mutual fund, it yields 8. It's still going to take 9 years, and then you've got the risk of what happens if the mutual fund and the stock market collapses or we have another market correction. But the biggest question you've got to ask is this. If Mary and Bob receive a $25,000 lump sum payment, are they really going to invest the money? Or are they likely going to spend that money and go on a trip, buy a new truck, do some repairs around the house, and go and buy a rental home? Who knows what they're going to do with the money? But the question is, are they going to invest the money and save it for future income needs, or are they going to likely spend the money on something that doesn't yield lasting value and add value back to the money they've given up? That's a really hard question that you've got to have with your clients if they're faced with this scenario, and you've got to be the determining factor as to whether or not they're going to say yes or no to a lump sum offer from Social Security. So what's the end result? Bob and Mary, if they chose this offer of receiving that $25,000 lump sum payment, they wouldn't max out their Social Security benefits as they intended. And at Bob's death, Mary's going to be receiving less money than she would have if they'd stuck to their original plan. So again, I go back to you as a financial professional, and if your clients were to come to you with this particular scenario, and ladies and gentlemen on the call, let me tell you, this is happening every single day across the United States. I'm hearing more and more stories of individuals calling our office saying, John, what can you tell me about this Social Security lump sum offer? I've never heard about this before, but my clients just got this offer from Social Security, and I don't know how to answer the question. So here's what I want to pose to you. What would you do in that scenario? Would you tell them to take the money, or would you tell them to not take the money? Well, let me help you out with that, and let me give you some specific questions that you should be asking your clients as they are trying to make that decision. Do I go ahead and wait to age 70 to max the benefits out and get the maximum possible, or do I take Social Security's offer, take the lump sum, and take a lesser check for the rest of my life? Now, before I give you those questions, I thought about this from the government's perspective and Social Security's perspective. If you've been watching the news, you know that the Social Security Trust Fund is due to be insolvent 2034, 2035. The numbers are moving back and forth. As a result of that, if nothing is changed in Congress, Social Security at that point is only going to be able to pay about 75% of promised benefits to Social Security recipients. So something's got to be done, and it's got to be done pretty quickly to stabilize the Social Security system. What's the potential outcome to that? Likely higher taxes, likely a delay in when individuals can retire. We're probably going to see a multi-pronged approach, but increased taxes is going to be one of the ways we're likely going to see this scenario at least attempt to be solved by the government. But in the interim, if your clients come to you and say, I've got an option. Do I choose A? Do I choose B? Door number one or door number two? There's some specific questions you need to be asking of your clients to help them make an informed decision. And if you got a piece of paper, you may want to jot these down, and I'll go through them a couple of times and give you time to make notes on those, because these are important questions you need to be asking. And they're important questions as you're having a retirement income planning conversation with your clients to make sure out of all the money they've saved, they're able to generate enough guaranteed income to live on, but also to have fun on. As economist Tom Hegna says, the paycheck they need to live on and the playcheck to have fun on. I like to say that they've got to have enough sustainable income to meet their monthly goals and to pay their monthly bills, but they've still got to have enough money left over to live life and make retirement enjoyable. So what are the questions that need to be answered? Here's number one. What is the stated goal or purpose for this money? If they're looking to delay to age 70, what's the reason? What's the goal? What's the purpose they're delaying to age 70? Is it like Bob and Mary, where Mary has got a family that has longevity in their genes? The majority of Mary's family living into their late 90s and early hundreds. That particular scenario, where as much guaranteed income that is inflation adjusted is going to be important in that scenario. So as you're talking with clients about their stated goals and purpose in retirement, specifically income goals around Social Security, what's the goal of Social Security? Is it going to just supplement what they've already saved, or is it going to be a primary source of guaranteed income that they're going to need for the rest of their lives? Question number two, how's your health? How's your spouse's health? Now, in this particular example that I've shared with you with Bob and Mary, Bob's had some health issues, and he's likely not going to live as long as Mary. But as I've already shared, again, in this scenario, Mary's family has longevity in their genes, and the likelihood that Mary is going to live a long, long time is significantly high. And Mary's going to need as much inflation-protected, guaranteed income as possible for the rest of her life. So again, identifying the stated goal or purpose, understanding the health of your clients can let you help them make an informed decision as to the impact of longevity on their guaranteed income going forward. We want to identify, again, is there a family history of longevity? And if so, how do we address that? Are there other assets that we can tap or defer tapping until later to create more income in the future? Or do we need to lean on Social Security as the foundation and the other assets that they've saved that are income producing to supplement that? The next question you need to ask in the conversation is this: is there an immediate need for the lump sum? Maybe they've almost got their house paid off, and that $25,000, $20,000, whatever that number is, would be just enough they needed to either pay off a house or pay off a vehicle or some other significant debt that they've got, maybe some carryover student debt where they co-signed for a child and now they've been stuck with the bill. If that lump sum can be used to free up a debt and it creates additional cash flow that now is not going to be going out every single month, that has to be added back into the calculation. So again, you got to get your pen and paper, you got to do the math, and as I said on the front end, you've got to count the cost. Another important question that you need to ask, and it may require bringing in their tax preparer, is this. How does this lump sum benefit, if it were to be received, impact your taxes that year? And does it change your Medicare status? Does it push your income to the point that now, Mr. and Mrs. Client, you're going to be paying more for Medicare Part B because your income is above the threshold that we now see a surcharge imposed upon your Medicare benefits? Another significant question is this. Is there enough other income from other sources you've saved during your working years to make up for the lesser Social Security benefit you're going to be receiving as a result of taking this lump sum without it jeopardizing the monthly income you're going to need for the rest of your life? Now, that's a very thought-provoking question right there. And if you ask your clients that question and get them to pause and consider, now they've got to weigh the cost between taking that lump sum benefit that sounds good, and I get that lump sum of money, $20,000, $25,000 right now, or am I going to have to pay the piper later on? And when I get older and I really need that additional income, it's not there. And I look at the pickup truck I bought 10 years ago with that $25,000 that's now sitting there not being driven. And if I were to sell it, it's not worth that much. And all of a sudden, I realize I made a bad decision with that money. Another question you need to ask is if they say, I do have other income that's going to make up for that Social Security benefit I'm going to be reducing by taking the lump sum, is that other income that they're going to be receiving inflation proof? Is it designed in such a way that as inflation continues to eat away at the purchasing power of the dollar, that other income is going to be also increasing in value so that it helps them stay ahead of inflation? One of the important things you need to remind your clients is this. Inflation that we see reported in the news is the general price index inflation. There's a separate inflation mechanism you don't see reported in the nightly news, and it's something that I've referred to for years in my training as a financial success coach as the Boomer Inflation Index. And if you've had an opportunity to sit in on any of my trainings over the years, you know this, that as we've done research into looking at inflation in terms of where it impacts individuals, as individuals get older, they tend to be utilizing and spending money on goods and services that are increasing at a faster rate than the core inflation level. When we saw inflation at 3%, Boomer inflation was already pushing 5.5% to 6% today. When we're looking now at inflation being roughly 6%, based upon the numbers we're seeing today, Boomer inflation, the cost of goods and services for those 65 and older, we're seeing those increasing at a rate of roughly 9.5% to 10% a year. So again, here's my question that you want to pose to your clients. Is there enough other income to make up for giving up a inflation-protected Social Security benefit long term, and is the other income you've got inflation-proof? That's an important conversation you want to make sure that you're having with your clients. And then, of course, there may be other specific questions as it relates to them and their specific financial goals and objectives that you want to have a conversation around. Again, at the end of the day, you and I always want to make sure that we're acting in the best interest of our client and we're giving them the best guidance possible. Now, this Social Security question is an important question that needs to be answered because you need to remember that Social Security for most Americans makes up 40 to 60% of their guaranteed income in retirement. This is the foundation upon which their retirement income plan is going to be established. And if this is not a firm foundation, their odds of having a long-term successful retirement have been significantly diminished. Now, if planning is done correctly as it relates to Social Security, not only is Social Security making up 40 to 60% of their guaranteed income in retirement, for a married couple of moderate or greater means, that total Social Security benefit over their lifetime in retirement could well exceed $1 million. If they claim early, or if they give up delayed credits that they may need later on, as you saw with Bob and Mary, they could be earning significantly less. And don't forget this sobering statistic: 80% of elderly widows rely solely on Social Security to finance what's left of their retirement. So here's the question you want to pose to your Bob and your Mary when it comes to claiming Social Security. Do you want to leave Mary with more or less? When we think about this Social Security option, for many financial consumers, they may be burning their potential future earnings opportunities. So I want to leave you with this as we get ready to start moving towards a close of this training. It's important for your clients to count the cost of any claiming strategy they elect to employ. Whether they're looking to claim early, they're looking to claim on time, they want to delay claiming, or they want to accept a bonus offer. I had a call just this week from a financial professional that works with Vision Advisors, and he had decided he wanted to claim his Social Security at age 62. He's still working, but he wanted the additional income. 3 or 4 months in, he realized he'd made a mistake, and he called to say, how do I unwind what I've already done? Many of your clients make mistakes because they act on either poor information, bad information, or not enough information, or no information at all. Conventional wisdom that they get around the water cooler at work may not be the best wisdom for them to get. And as they're giving thoughts on whether they claim early on time, they delay, or they accept a bonus offer, you don't want them to burn their future earnings potential by making an ill-informed financial decision. Now, that's where you, as a financial professional, comes in. That's where you, as their trusted financial advisor, needs to be there to help them make informed decisions that allow them to make decisions that serve their interest, that help them meet their goals and objectives for the future. That is part of your responsibility in serving your clients with integrity. It's not about how much money you're going to make for yourself. It's about how much money you can create for them and have an opportunity to serve them at the highest level. Yes, you're going to have an opportunity to place some financial products and services with them, and yes, you're going to make some money off of that. But if you serve your clients with integrity, you do the right thing, and you help them make the best decision possible, do you just might think they might go have a conversation around the water cooler, or have a conversation with their friends, their neighbors, their coworkers, and they're going to say, do you know what Sean? Do you know what Bob? Do you know what Mary? Do you know what Kathy did for me to help me make an informed decision? And all of a sudden, they become your unpaid sales force, because they start introducing you to people in their inner circle that want and need the same services that you offered to them. And all of a sudden, your network of opportunity expands because you did the right thing. This happens every single day when you serve your clients at the highest level. Asking the questions that we went through and helping them make an informed decision is one of the best decisions you can make, and it positions you to attract more of the type of customer that you want to work with and that you prefer to work with over any other. Now, if you need some help in serving your clients, that's where we at Vision Advisors come in. We've created an entire marketing system around Social Security. It starts with understanding Social Security, a workshop with kind of a game format in the front of it to help your individuals understand Social Security, how it started, who were the first recipients, and really a little bit of history that enlightens people to the amazing opportunity Social Security has to provide guaranteed income in retirement. It answers the common questions your clients need answered before they want to make a Social Security claiming decision, and it introduces the three ways they can claim: early, on time, or delayed credits. Maybe for them, they need a book, and we've created a fairly substantial book on Social Security claiming strategies in retirement that is available for you to be able to distribute to your clients as an additional resource to help them make an informed decision. We have additional workshops that we put together, one called To Claim or Not to Claim, and it walks clients through the decision-making process after learning and understanding Social Security, what the options are to claim or not to claim, begins to introduce and begins to teach them what happens if they claim early, what happens if they claim on time, what happens if they delay, and it walks them through the steps to make an informed decision to claim or not to claim. And then we recently added a new workshop based upon longevity and the fact that individuals need to know some very important things about Social Security that are often overlooked. And we've created a new presentation that's already getting some rave reviews, Social Security Revisited, where we point out some interesting facts, we share a few stories, and we incorporate information about this new bonus offer that's now being made by Social Security that gives you an opportunity to introduce your clients to this important topic so you can step into the middle of that, be their trusted advisor, and help them make an informed decision. Now, what do we do here at Vision Advisors? We help you educate and sell to the consumers that you work with. We believe that if we can help you start a conversation that leads to education, that opens up the opportunity for a sale, we've given you the opportunity to grow your practice. And for financial professionals that are contracted with Vision Advisors, you have access to our Vision Success Academy. What's inside of that? The workshop series I just shared with you, Understanding Social Security, and all the marketing resources around it. We also have other trainings in the Vision Success Academy: Protecting the Piggy Bank, talking about long-term care, retirement income planning, Meet Aunt Irma. This is the Irma story, and we have a presentation around that, and marketing tools and resources to educate your clients on those tools. We have the 4 roadblocks to retirement. We have an entire workshop series for working with Generation Xers and Millennials called Financial Wellness. We have a longevity marketing strategy on how to retire happy and stay that way. How to retire happy and stay retired happy without having to go back to work because you didn't count the cost. For those that want to figure out how to have a tax-free retirement, maybe that you like the bank on yourself concept, or you want to find ways to reduce the amount of money people are paying in taxes, tax-deferred versus tax-free retirement, an amazing series that continues to put butts in seats every time this workshop is done. Peace of Mind University, a 4-part educational series done in a school setting that answers the 4 specific questions your clients need answered before they leave work and move into retirement. We talk about healthcare, Social Security, income planning, and survivor planning. And one of the most important topics that's being queried in Google today is, how do I get my financial affairs in order? The estate planning conversation is perhaps the most effective one. Individuals using our estate planning program are seeing a year-to-year increase of 20 to 25% in the growth of their business year after year by focusing on estate planning and then supplementing with the other resources there. And in addition to that, we've got sales and marketing training and access to your own digital marketing platform. Those are some of the tools and resources we bring, but I hope you found today of value and of interest as we had an opportunity to share with you the Social Security lump sum offer and the importance of counting the cost. If you got questions about anything that we've covered today, would like to learn more about the resources we have or the advantages of working with Vision Advisors, give us a call at 1-800-505-8489. And by the way, while you're doing that, be sure and ask how we at Vision Advisors can pay for your marketing. We have a very lucrative marketing program called Money to Market, and we enhanced that for 2023, where you can earn up to twice the marketing credits that you could have earned in prior iterations of our program. So don't forget to ask about that as well. Again, we love an opportunity to share with you what we've got available and how we can help you continue to grow and expand your opportunities. Give us a call at Vision Advisors, 1-800-505-8489, or you can visit us at visionadvisorsinc.com. Scroll to the bottom of the homepage and you can actually access any of our business consultants' calendars, schedule time on our calendar to meet and have a conversation with us. No cost, no obligation, but just a discussion about how we can help you improve the outcomes in your business. One last thing, and I'll let you go. While you're on visionadvisorsinc.com, be sure and follow us and like us on Facebook and LinkedIn, where every day we're sharing sales tips and sales ideas. And you also want to check out our YouTube channel. Over 320 sales and marketing training videos, just like the workshop you went through today, available to you 24/7, 365, no username, no password. It is a literal university of everything sales and marketing related to financial services in the industry. We believe when you see the value of the training tools and resources we bring, you're going to want to do more business with Vision Advisors. And with that, I want to say thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking time to learn more. I trust the information I shared is valuable and is going to help you serve your clients at an even higher level than you're serving them now. I welcome an opportunity to have a conversation with you, to hear what you learned from this, other topics you want to hear. So please feel free to reach out. 1-800-505-8485 is the number here. And on behalf of all of us here at Vision Advisors, I'm John Terry. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.